Do you know what real numbers are? Let's find it out. Hi all, I am Vinayak and welcome back to Vinayak Maths Mastery YouTube channel. Today we are learning about real numbers. So i- today we'll be dealing with what are exactly real numbers, as well as we'll go through the fundamental theorem of arithmetic, as well as some conceptual applications of fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Okay, so let's start. ಸೊ ಏನು ಕಲಿತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ನಾವು ಇವತ್ತು ರಿಯಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಕಲಿತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಮತ್ತೆ ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಥಿಯರಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಅರ್ಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದರದ್ದು ಎರಡು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ ಅವು ಏನಂತ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಜಂಪಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ರಿಯಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಬ್ರೀಫ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ರ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್, ಇರ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್, ರಿಯಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್. ಹಾಗಂದ್ರೆ ರ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, rational numbers andre ಏನಪ್ಪ, what exactly are rational numbers are basically the numbers which can be expressed in the form of p by q where q is not equal to 0. ಏನು ಹೀಗಂದ್ರೆ p by q where q is not equal to 0 ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ basically if I take any number which can be expressed in the form of p by q, and if the denominator is not equal to 0, then that number is called as rational number. ಹೇಗಪ್ಪ ಇದು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಅ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಸೊ if I take -3, -3 is a integer, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದೀವಿ -3 is a integer number. So -3 is a integer number which can this -3 be expressed in the form of p by q? ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ ನಾವು -3ನ ರ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ p by q ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಿಬೋದಾ? ಹೇಗೆ ಬರಿಬೋದು? ಹೌ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ವಿ ರೈಟ್? ದ ವೇಸ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೈಟ್ -3 as -3 by 1. So the value remains the same, correct? The value remains the same. So -3 by 1, whether it is in the form of p by q? Yes, exactly, it is in the form of p by q. P by q in the form means what? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು p by q ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ನಂಬರ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನಂಬರ್ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಸಿಂಪಲ್, ವೆರಿ 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 ಸಿಂಪಲ್, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? -3 by q, and q, the denominator q is not equal to 0, correct? This condition must satisfy. ಯಾಕೆ ಈ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಆಗಬೇಕು? q should not be equal to 0. q equal to 0 ಆದರೆ, if q becomes 0, then the number itself becomes undefined, correct? If number becomes undefined, then there is no point in discussing about whether the number is rational number, irrational number, real number, anything, correct? So q should not be equal to 0. should not be equal to 0 ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಆಗಲೇಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ನಂಬರ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಅನ್ಡಿಫೈನ್ಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂವೇ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ, ಅದ್ರ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ, ಆ ತರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ರ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ. ಸೊ ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? ಸೊ ರ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಬರ್ತವೆ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ? ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತು. ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್? ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವು? ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ 1, 2, 3 so on up to infinity, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಇದು ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸು. ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಐ ಆ್ಯಡ್ 0 ಟು ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಅದು ಹೋಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಇದೇನಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಅವಾಗ? ಹೋಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಹೋಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ previous classes, correct? In our 8th standard, 9th standard, we have already dealt about this, correct? I am just giving a introduction, I am just giving a brief introduction of what these numbers are, correct? So whole numbers ಆಯ್ತು. Next, integers ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Integers are basically, so if I draw a line like this, so basically integers ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? integers ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? integers ಅಂದ್ರೆ number line ಅಲ್ಲಿ, if I take a number line, what are integers? Basically if I express this as 0, all the positive numbers here, 1, 2, so on, 3, so on. So if I write -1, -2 and so on, correct? All positive numbers plus negative numbers and 0 form integers, correct? So rational numbers ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ಬರ್ತವೆ? what the rational numbers include? Basically they include natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, correct? All these numbers comes under rational numbers. Next, we'll see the flow chart. We see the chart of depiction of rational numbers and irrational numbers. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಚಾರ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು rational numbers ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, irrational numbers ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. Okay, now we'll just see what are irrational numbers. Correct? Irrational numbers ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, which cannot be expressed in the form of p by q. For example, pi, ನಮ್ಮ ಫೇವ್ರೆಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋ ಪೈ ಏನದು, ಪೈ is a irrational number. So if I write root 3 ಏನು, root 3 ಕೂಡ irrational number. Root 3 is also irrational number because it cannot be expressed in the form of p by q. We know what is the value of root 3. It is 1.732. Correct? Similarly, root 2, root 7, root 5, root 8, root 10 ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಇರ್ರಾಷನಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್. ಯಾವುದೇ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ರೂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ರೂಟ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ರೂಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಿ ಬೈ ಕ್ಯೂ. ಅವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ನಮಗೆ ಇರ್ರಾಷನಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತವೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊ ರ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು. ವಿ ಕೇಮ್ ಟು ನೋ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ರ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇರ್ರಾಷನಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ರಿಯಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ದೆನ್? ಸೊ ಫೈನಲಿ ವಿ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ನೋ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ರಿಯಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ರಿಯಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್? ರಿಯಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ? ರಿಯಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ rational numbers plus irrational number. ಸೊ rational numbers ಮತ್ತು irrational numbers ಸೇರಿದ್ರೆ we call it as real numbers. Correct, my dear students? ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಚಾರ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ we can see a chart here which exactly shows what are real numbers. Correct? So here you can actually make out, I hope the chart is clear. Correct? Here actually you can make out from the below, ಕೆಳಗಡೆಯಿಂದ natural numbers 1 2 3 4, whole numbers 0 1 2 3 4. Correct? ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ integers. Correct? Integers ಅಲ್ಲಿ negative positive both will be included. Then coming to the rational numbers include all the things. Correct? Rational numbers p by q ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು, integers ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು, whole numbers ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು, ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಸೇರಿ rational numbers ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So rational numbers, if I assume rational numbers as one bucket, correct, and irrational numbers as another bucket, which includes all the irrational numbers, pi, root 2, root 3, correct, all this as irrational numbers, then the real numbers becomes the biggest bucket. Correct? This is the biggest bucket, which is the combination of rational numbers and irrational numbers. So real numbers is the biggest bucket, within which rational numbers is a small bucket and irrational number is a small bucket. I hope this is clear with this chart. Correct? So with this we came to know what are real numbers. Real numbers ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ? rational numbers ಮತ್ತೆ irrational numbers ಸೇರಿ real numbers ಆಗ್ತವೆ. We'll further move on and we'll actually know better what real numbers are in our future studies. Okay, so next what we see is fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So our next topic will be fundamental fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Fundamental theorem of arithmetic. ಏನಪ್ಪ ಇದು fundamental theorem of arithmetic ಅಂದ್ರೆ? It is very simple, guys. Okay, it is very very simple. It basically means, so if I write the definition, if I write the definition as every composite number can be expressed as product of prime numbers. So every composite number can be expressed as product of prime numbers. ಏನಪ್ಪ ಇದು ಎವ್ರಿ ಕಾಂಪೋಸಿಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ so what that exactly means is, we'll take one example and we'll understand. Okay, so for example, if I take a simple number called 4, correct? We know prime factorization method. So what is prime factorization method ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ prime factorization method ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು number ನ ತಗೊಂಡು taking one number and basically factorizing it with the prime numbers, correct? For example, how do you factorize? We know the factorization method in our earlier classes, correct? Basically it is a division rule, correct? 4 can be divided with 2, correct? 2 2s are 4, 2 1s are 2, correct? So what are the factors of 4? We can write it as 2 into 2 into 1. Simple, correct? We'll take one more number. We'll take we'll take as 20. We'll take one more number as 20. How do we factorize 20? 20 can be factorized as 2 tens are 20, 2 5s are 10, 2 5 1s are 5. So what are the factors of 20 are? 2 into 2 into 5 into 1. So if you see in these both examples, what we can see is basically we are expressing a composite number as the product of prime numbers, correct? 2 is a prime number, 5 is a prime number, 1 is also a prime number. Is 1 a prime number? Answer this question. Think about this. Is 1 a composite number? Is 1 a composite number or a prime number? This you have to comment below. Okay, this is a homework for you guys. Please think about this. Okay, whether 1 is a prime number or a composite number. This answer I will give it to you in the next video. Okay, please think about this. So we'll move on now. So we are expressing what we are doing. We are expressing all the composite numbers as the product of prime numbers. So what do you mean by composite number and prime number? That we need to understand, correct? It is very simple again. Suppose say 4 is a I say 4 as composite number. Why I say 4 as composite number? Because it has factors more than 1 and the number itself. So as above, we have expressed it as 2 into 2 into 1, correct? So what are the factors? Factors are 1, 2 and 4, correct? So this 4 can be written as like this also, correct? 4 into 1 also we can write, correct? It can be written as 2 into 2 into 1 or 4 into 1, correct? Both are correct. This is also right, this is also right, but this is prime factorization. This is prime factorization. So since the number 4 has more than one factors and it has factors other than the number itself and 1, it is called as composite number. So what are prime numbers? Basically, if I say 5 is a prime number, if I factorize 5, I'll get only 5 into 1. I can express 5 as 5 into 1. There is no other thing, correct? So basically the factors are the number itself. Basically the factors of 5 are the number itself is a one factor and 1 is another factor. So the numbers, all the numbers which can be expressed as the number itself multiply by 1 is a prime number. Please understand, guys. Please understand. This is a very basic thing which you need to understand. Okay. So this is prime number and composite number. So I am telling fundamental theorem of arithmetic says every composite number can be expressed as a product of primes. So if you are observing 20 is a composite number. Why it is composite number? It has more than one factor. So it is expressed as 2 into 2 into 5 into 1. Correct? All are prime numbers. If you are observing 2 is a prime number, 5 is a prime number and 1, whether it is prime or composite? You have to tell me. Okay, I have given that as homework. So it can be expressed as the product of prime numbers. Hence, the fundamental theorem of arithmetic holds good. Correct? And one more thing is the factorization, the prime factorization for every composite number is unique in its way. This is the very, very important thing which you need to understand. The prime factorization, what I tell is the prime factorization, factorization is is always is always is always present in a unique is always present in a unique way. So what I mean by this unique way, what is this unique way? What I mean to tell is this is basically a very important point. Okay, please do understand this. Why I say this as very unique way in the sense, what I mean is basically, if I take the same example as 20, if I can express this 20 as 2 into 2 into 5 into 1. Correct? If I start with 2, if I start dividing 20 with 2, I'll write it as 2 tens are, 2 fives are, 5 ones are. That is 2 into 2 into 5 into 1. Correct? The same thing, the same thing, please think, we can also do it like this. Correct? 2 can be divided, 20 can be divided by starting with 5 only. 5 fours are, 2 twos are, 2 ones are. Correct? So in that case, if I write this as 5 into 2 into 2 into 1, both are correct. See, both are correct. This is also right. This is also right, and this is also right. This is also correct. This is also correct. So what I say by unique way, what I say by unique way is the primes which are present, the primes which are present will be always constant, will be always constant. That means the primes will not change. Only the order of writing, it can be in a different order. If I write 2 into 2 into 5 into 1 or 5 into 2 into 2 into 1, the order might change, but the numbers, but the factors, but the primes which are present as the factors for a composite number will always be a constant. So this is a very, very important point about the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Hope this is clear. If you have any doubts, please do comment, please do contact me. My number is given in the description. You can always message me, WhatsApp me. I will explain you in much detail. Correct? So let's just check about the applications. So I told there are some applications of fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So what are the applications? The first application is we can prove irrationality. Irrationality. Irration. Irrationality. Sorry. I just made a mistake. Rationality. Irrationality. Irrationality of numbers. We can prove the irrationality of numbers. The second application is we can say a number is terminating, terminating or 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 non terminating, non terminating. So these are two applications of fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Okay, so let's see more about fundamental theorem of fundamental theorem of arithmetic, as well as we'll see some of the examples which can be dealt with the knowledge of fundamental theorem of arithmetics. Okay, I hope this is clear. Please do go through the video, please do watch it till the end so that you'll have a better idea, as well as please do comment below how did you feel about the video and what things we need to improve, or what concepts you want to be explained in much more detail in the next video. Okay, so till then, I'll see you guys in the next lesson video. Till then, please take care, stay happy, stay healthy, and bye bye.